In this video, I'm going to explain a topic that is really difficult for most students, subject-object questions. We will look at the structure of questions and how to form questions in the present and the past, and we'll really focus on the difference between questions about the subject and questions about the object. So first, we have to understand what a subject is and what an object is. The subject is the person or thing doing the action in a sentence. And if you're not sure what is the subject, look for the action and then look for the person or thing doing that action. For example, in the sentence, Kyle drives a car, the action is drives, and the person doing the action is Kyle. So that's your subject. Kyle drives the car. And if you're looking for the object, not every sentence has one, but if you have an object, that is the thing that receives the action. So here, Kyle drives the car. The object is car. So if we are looking for information that would normally come in this part of the sentence, then we're going to use a structure called object structure. So, for example, what does Kyle drive? And the answer is he drives a car. We're getting the answer car. That's an object. That's why sometimes this type of question is called an object question. So let's look again at the structure. We're going to start with a question word, and that could be what for things, who for people, when for time, why for reason, or where for place, or how for manner, method, how long, again, length of time. So any of those question words, we could start there, and then we'll use an auxiliary verb, either do or does in the present. And we use do for any kind of subject, but does if our subject is he, she, or it. So in our question, what does Kyle drive? Our subject is Kyle. So we're going to use does because Kyle is he. If the question was, what do the people drive? People is like they, so we'll use do. But here we have, what does Kyle drive? So we're going to have the question word, do or does. Here is does. The subject, and then our verb. And the verb is always going to be in the base form. So we'll never have an S or a different kind of ending on this. It's just going to be in the base form. What does Kyle drive? A car. Okay, let's look at another example. What does Tasha cook? Here's lunch. So we're getting the object. Tasha cooks lunch. Or, where does your mother live? Or, where do your parents live? When does the class end? What do you want? So those are all different object questions because we include the subject in the question, like you, Tasha, your parents, and we're also going to get an answer which is in the object position. For example, you could say, I want dessert, or Tasha cooks spaghetti. My parents live down the street. So again, we have a question word, do or does, a subject, and a base verb. This is present simple. If we want to change this to past simple, it's very easy. We only make one change. Instead of do or does, we will use did, and that's for all the subjects. So we could say, what did Tasha cook yesterday? And we would get an answer giving us something in the object position. She cooked pizza. Or where did you go? I went to the store. This type of answer is in the object position, so it's called an object question. So it's a question word, did, subject, and the base form. So remember, even in the past, we're using the base form of the verb. There's no ed ending or anything for this type of question. So this is the most common type of question, but sometimes we want to ask a question about who or what does the action of the sentence. This is the information we are looking for. So if we don't know about who drove the car, we can't make the question in the same way. Here we're going to use something called subject question structure. So it's a little different. It's actually a little easier. We're going to begin with the question word, which will either be who or what, because the subject of a sentence is always a person or a thing. It's a noun of some kind. So it will begin with who or what, and then we will use our verb. In present simple, we're going to use a verb with an S on it. We'll use the third person singular form of the verb. So we could say, who drives the car? And remember, our answer is Kyle. Kyle drives the car. So one thing that students get confused about a lot is that this is the only structure we have for present simple questions. So for present simple subject questions. So even if we think that the subject will be more than one person or more than one thing, we still use this structure. So for example, we would say, who lives on that street? I know that more than one person lives there, and I will get an answer with a plural subject, but I still make the question like this because that's the grammar rule. So who lives on that street? The Browns, the Smiths, the Stevens, the Rodriguez family. 20 people live on that street. But still, I make the question like this. This is how you make a subject question in present simple. Who lives on that street? Or who likes ice cream? If I ask that question to a group of people, many people will say that they like ice cream. So we could say all of the people like ice cream. Still, I make the subject question like this. Who likes ice cream? This is in the present. In the past, for a subject question, one change. I will put the verb in the past. Who lived on that street? Who drove the car? Who liked ice cream? I will begin with who or what, and then I will use a verb in the past. An example with what might be a very common one. What happened? So this is a subject question in the past. So let's practice. I will show you some sentences and I'll circle the information we're looking for, and you make the right question, either with a subject or object structure. Here we go. Someone rang the doorbell. We're looking for this information. Someone. Remember, this happened in the past. Rang is the past form of ring. Someone rang the doorbell. So we want to say a question like this. Who rang the doorbell? And the answer might be Kyle. Kyle rang the doorbell. Or let's do another one. Paul lives somewhere. I know the subject, that's Paul. I'm looking for something that goes in the object position. This is also in the present tense, so I'm going to make this question. Where does Paul live? So I'll begin with my question word. does, Paul, that's my subject, and my verb in the base form. Number 3, someone lives in that house. Who lives in that house? I might get this answer. My best friend lives in that house. She forgot something. The subject is she. I'm looking for the information here at the end of the sentence, object position. So I will make this question. What did she forget? She forgot her wallet. Leslie and Mark go somewhere every day. I'd like more information. Where do Leslie and Mark go every day? Oh, they go to the beach every day. Someone ate all of the cake. I need an answer. I need to know who. Who ate all of the cake? It was my brother. So that's subject and object questions in present and past simple. If you would like more information about this or more practice with subject and object questions, check out my grammar class where we go in depth into this and many other topics. Thanks for watching.